Job, the man who would not curse God. The sky did not crack with thunder when the accusation was made. No fire fell, no trumpet sounded. It began with a question, quiet, calculated, dangerous enough to shake the unseen realms. Does Job fear God for nothing? Like this video. Share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the Bible Project for more cinematic Bible stories. There are stories in Scripture that inspire, others that warn. And then there are stories that test you, stories that ask whether your faith is real when everything you trust is stripped away. This is one of them. This is the story of Job, not a man chasing blessings, not a man bargaining with God, but a man who would not curse God even when heaven was silent, earth was cruel, and suffering had no explanation. Tonight, we step into ash and silence, into loss without logic, into a faith refined by fire. And by the end, you may never ask, why do bad things happen to good people the same way again? Scene 1. The man heaven boasted about. Morning light spills over the land of Uz. Herds move like dark rivers across open fields. Children laugh within strong walls. Oil lamps flicker in a house filled with peace. Job stands at the center of it all. Scripture describes him with unsettling clarity. A blameless and upright man, one who feared God and shunned evil, not perfect but whole, not sinless but sincere. He is wealthy, yes, but more than that, he is careful with his soul. Every morning, before business, before pleasure, before rest, Job rises. Smoke curls upward from burnt offerings, not because his children have sinned openly, but because they might have sinned in their hearts. This is a man who fears God in secret, and heaven notices. Scene 2, a courtroom beyond time. The scene shifts, not on earth but above it. A place of order, authority, light. The sons of God present themselves before the Lord. And among them the accuser, not horns, not flames, but intelligence sharpened by malice. God speaks first. Have you considered my servant Job? The words land like a challenge. There is none like him on the earth. But the accuser smiles. Does Job fear God for nothing? A pause. You've hedged him in. Blessed his work, protected his house, removed the blessing, and he will curse you to your face. The silence stretches. Then permission measured. All that he has is in your power, but lay not a hand on him. The hedge opens, and the storm begins. Scene 3. The day everything collapsed. It happens fast, too fast to process. A servant runs breathless, bleeding. The oxen were plowing. Raiders came. They're gone. Another arrives before the first finishes. Fire fell from heaven. The sheep are consumed. Another. The Chaldeans form 3 bands. The camels are taken. And then, the final messenger, his voice breaks. Your sons and daughters, feasting. The wind struck the house. It fell. Silence. No scream. No argument. No accusation. Job stands. Tears streak dust-covered skin. He tears his robe, shaves his head, and then he does the unthinkable. He falls to the ground, not in despair, but in worship. Naked I came from my mother's womb. Naked I shall return. The Lord gave, the Lord is taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. He does not curse God, and hell is not finished. Scene 4. When pain enters the body, again another heavenly moment. Again the accusation. Skin for skin. Touch his flesh, and he will curse you. Permission is given again, restrained. Spare his life. Job awakens to pain. Boils erupt from soul to crown. Skin cracks. Fever burns. Sleep disappears. He sits among ashes, scraping himself with broken pottery. His wife approaches. Eyes hollow, voice sharp with grief. Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die. Job looks at her, not with anger, but sorrow. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble? And Scripture records the verdict. In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. Scene 5. The silence of God and the noise of friends. 3 friends arrive. They do not speak for 7 days, because some pain has no language. But when they do speak, they wound him. They search for hidden sin. They assume secret guilt. They explain suffering with shallow theology. God is just so you must be guilty. Job cries out, not in polished prayers but raw agony. He curses the day of his birth, questions God, demands answers. And this is where many misunderstand Job. Job does not pretend. He bleeds honestly, but even in protest he never lets go of God. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. This is not quiet faith. This is defiant faith. Faith that refuses to walk away even when God feels like an enemy. Scene 6. When God finally speaks, the sky darkens, wind rises, dust swirls, and then a voice, not soft, not gentle. The Lord answers Job out of the whirlwind. Who is this that darkens counsel without knowledge? Questions pour like thunder. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Have you commanded the morning? Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades? Job has no defense, no argument, only awe. He covers his mouth. I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know. God does not explain suffering. He reveals himself, and that is enough. Scene 7. Restoration, but not the point. The story closes with restoration. Health returned, wealth doubled, joy reborn. But that is not the heart of Job. The heart is this: Job never served God for the blessing, and he did not abandon God without it. He loved God because he is God. The meaning for us. Job answers a question every generation asks. Is God worthy when prayers go unanswered? When healing delays? When explanations never come? Job says yes. Not because life is fair, but because God is faithful even when unseen. This is faith that heaven boasts about. Not loud, not convenient, but unbreakable. If this story stirred something in you, stay with us. Subscribe to the Bible Project for more cinematic journeys through Scripture, where ancient truth meets living faith.